I'm finally getting around to working on the old tractor here. To be honest, I think I might be installing a 10-horse diesel. It's still filling the fuel up with the oil up with fuel. The fuel pump, I checked it. It wasn't bleeding any oil into the valve cover, but so it could be a needle in a seat that could be leaking. Even though I shut off the fuel when it's running, it makes sense it's going to do it some. So I also ran seafoam through it and a few other things. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start by doing is taking off the valve cover. Then I'll be taking off the fuel pump. I'm going to actually remove the entire fuel pump, check it out, and just trying to see where the model tag is on this engine. I guess it's going to be right on. Oh, there it is there. Need to get those numbers. I know almost any fuel pump will fit on it. I might actually be converting it over to electric. So, but for now, I'm going to start pulling her apart. And yeah, she's dusty. I never even actually cleaned this thing since I got it. I should have. So, a lot of grime on it, but it ran and worked for the winter. So, it's not too bad, I guess. I haven't really worked on lawnmower fuel pumps, normally sleds and ATVs, but to me, the way I'm testing it, it shows up as being bad. I am still going to be pulling off the carburetor, so I'll get a gasket set, and I'll be just cleaning it and going over it. The top gasket here kind of fell apart when I removed it, so I'll be getting gaskets for the rest of the carb, especially the intake ones here. That has like plastic kind of inserted between them to keep the heat from boiling the fuel. So it's pretty simple. So you got your dual barrels down there. This is the 20 horse. The 18 horse only has a single style intake on it. Okay, so I got the carburetor off her. Just got it upside down. And you can see that it is leaking out of the bottom of the float. So it seems to be only where you drain it. There's no electronic shutoff on this one, so I'm kind of surprised at that. So there's a better shot of the top there. You can see the little bit more detail there, but yeah, I decided to pull it off to check it out because I looked underneath and it's pretty wet under there. So I'll also be pulling off the flywheel cover, checking out the fins, even though I can kind of see they're empty, cleared. But okay, so yeah, she's pretty dirty in here. I'm going to guess. So show you guys a little bit of an update once I pull it apart. Well, surprisingly, it's actually very nice and clean inside. So no dirt. So now I'll just be pulling out the needle and seat, checking that out, making sure the O-ring under the seat, if it's changeable on this one, which it doesn't look like it is not cracked. Okay, so both of these screws here were finger tight, and yeah, that can't be good. So this one here I pulled out. I stuck a little bit of multi-purpose thread sealant in there just to kind of make sure it doesn't pop out, make sure to get to none inside it. Just in between the washer. I'll be doing the same on these. Never had an issue with it plugging anything up. So yeah, I also noticed the plug that was on here is split. Can't really see it there, but right there it is a little hole right in between my fingers there. So which could have been enough to make one side run lean, I guess. So it did always have a little bit of a backfire when you shut it off at high RPM, so very well could be. There we go, those are back in place. You can barely see it, but I used just a little bit of that sealant on the threads and on the washers. I'm guessing it's vibration that made them loosen up. I will have to find a new rubber cap for that. I might just install a hose on it and put a screw in the hose temporary, because that cap I'm not going to put back on there. That's parts of the SR250 just lying in the mess there. This gasket here is in mint shape, so I will be reusing that one. So, and going to give this a shot with the air compressor here to make sure everything else is nice and clean. And try not to blow that gasket across the garage. And there we go, nicely cleaned up, ready to go back on. I just stuck a piece of heat shrink over top of that and heat shrunk it and pinched this end here, so should be good. Should be good. Anyone knows what goes on here, let me know, because when I first got the tractor, there was a hose with a screw in it, blocking it, but the screw was half the size of the hose. So, yeah, let me know. As for settings on here, I gotta look this up for the settings. So, But other than that, it's pretty good. I got all those sealed up, so I'm pretty sure that's what my starting issue was, because it would take time to fill up the float bowl, which makes sense if it's leaking out of those bottom screws, the drain or the two jet plugs. So you can see it's been leaking for a while in there, so before I put it in, I'm going to give that a flush. I just noticed, had it running for a few seconds, and spit sizzles off that side. This side here, nothing. Can't really see it unless there. You can see it just steamed right off. This side, nothing. So I probably got a bad plug on this side, and yeah, that's kind of interesting. It does run on both cylinders. I have verified it many times, but right now it's just actually not running on this one. So that could have been from the last time I had it out. So I will be pulling that spark plug, and I'm hoping I don't have to remove the top of this battery tray shield to do it, because that kind of suck. Because it's right down in there. I should have left off the valve cover too, damn it. Damn. About 36 on this side, and 120, or 100 let's say, on that side. So yeah, gotta pull that back spark plug out and take a look at her. As you can see, I had to remove the battery tray, tip it to the side, and good time to clean up that battery too. It's not acid on it, it's actually motor oil from filling it up once. Dripped from here over onto the battery, but still not good for it. So I'll have to find a socket to fit that, pull out that plug, and check the compression and everything while I'm at it. The compression test, this cylinder here, which was not firing, has 146 psi, and I'll give this one a try here. That's 150. I only pulled it maybe 4 or 5 times with the rope each side. Good enough. So compression's good. That's a good thing. And oh, I guess I'll show you the shape of the plug. This is the one here that wasn't firing. Oh no, this is the shape of the one that was firing. This is the one that wasn't firing. Can't really see that. There's some rust on it from the battery tray, but yeah, both of those are nice and carboned up and due to be changed. So, not going to clean them, I'll just replace them. Okay, so I just got the plugs back in, or I just rotated them. Look at that. Running pretty equal there. There. Okay, so what I did is I took the good spark plug from the front here, cleaned it, shoved it in the back one. I still got to put my mounts on the battery and everything, so. And shitty one's up front, so I just cleaned it. If I need to change it again, it's right there, easy to get to. Now I got to dump that oil. So it's going to be a mixture of the carb leaking, the bad spark plug, the fuel pump is on its way out. So it's going to be a mixture of all that stuff that's caused the issue of it filling up with oil. The main thing is going to actually be the spark plug. So, okay, time to dump the oil and get some fresh in there. Okay, so she's all back together. I did run it for an extra 10 seconds again. Gave it a little bit of goose, revved her up, revved her down. Now time to dump that oil, because there's probably close to half a liter of fuel in there, if not more, because it's way past the full mark. So I don't need this thing exploding on me, getting it nice and hot. So this vent line here is just the one from the top of the carb that I left. So I'm going to get just a little filter on there, something to stop dirt from getting in, and then it's good to go. You guys use your judgment here, show me how much gas is in here. It's going to make a mess. I'm standing back. Look how thin that is. Can you say a lot of fuel in there? Yeah, that almost washes. I don't even feel oil on my hands. Oop, I'm getting splashed. Yeah, that doesn't even feel like oil. That feels like fuel. Like it's gritty. It's not slippery, man. Yep. Look at that, eh? And just got to find out why it died on one cylinder, because it is running great. This second time this happens, running great, and then all of a sudden one cylinder caps out. Last time I think it was the front cylinder that gave me problems. So, again, running on one cylinder could maybe not be why it filled up. I'm still pretty sure it's that fuel pump, because what happens is when you get too much gas, it actually starts to come under your breather, and then you run on very oily fuel. and smokes like a son of a bitch, which is going to foul a spark plug, so hard to say. So I'm going to let that drain for quite a while. And another thing I'm going to do is make sure this is in the off position. I'm going to actually turn over the engine a bit with the pull cord only, because I want to get some of that fuel or that oil out of this oil cooler. It's not going to start, and it's not going to be too hard on it. Good enough. There it comes. See? Just enough to kind of give it a gravity bleed. Hold the dipstick now. Give it a little bit extra air. And I'll let that sit for a while. Well, I'll get back to you guys in a bit. I don't have a filter yet, so I'll just be putting new oil in, because I got to flush it again after this once I get it problem solved. Well, how nice. I gave her like 4 pulls more just to get the oil draining. And it started pouring, and I broke the rope. What I don't like now is that rope's loose in there. Okay, you know, it should be okay. I'm just making sure it didn't get on the other side of the pulley where it's going to get tangled up. Got to take off this arm here, unbolt it if I want to change it, or yeah, that kind of sucks. So maybe I'll just use without it. Temporary, fix it another day. That sucks. But if it broke there, it would have broken another time. Better breaking now than when I actually rely on it. Cleaning off some oil in the exhaust, because it was pretty smoky on the way here. When we drove it back during the winter, it started running shitty, so I don't know. I think I'll have to let her run for a while. Yes, I did an oil change, just pure oil, clean oil in it, so. I'm trying to run the tank out of fuel, so a little bit of a squeak happening there. She is running hot, that's for sure. Lots of heat coming from her right now, but it is hot outside, so. Let her just run out of fuel in the line. That'll be good enough. Give it a few minutes, she'll backfire and run out of fuel. Actually looks like the oil is kind of slowly starting to slow down. So, but it is idling mind you right now, so. But under a heavy load, yeah, she was a little bit smoky. Leave her go. Close the big door here. Still kind of smoky in here from running her up. Might just need to take a while to be flushed after all that gasoline in her. Come on, baby, run out of fuel. Oh, starting to surge now a bit. That just stops the belt, eh? Nope, she's about to die. Give her some choke. Keep her running with choke. Good enough. She is out. And it didn't take long for me to lose that pin again. Damn it. I lost that pin twice now. That would suck for that cylinder coming loose when you're doing something and hit you in the leg. It really would. Okay, so note to self. Pick up a better pin. I'm not sure how well it is showing up here, but it's yeah, that shows up better now. Yeah, that's smoky in here still. It is now 10:30 at night, so 2 hours, and I had the door open to drive it around the corner and everything. Yeah, it smoked a little bit after I revved it up a few times in here. Right there is where it's going to be staying. Just going to let this air out because I got a couple buddies coming over for a couple hours. So, other than that, I'm going to be spending a lot of time packaging and packing and cleaning. So, might not be any more videos probably until the end of next month. So, just thought I'd kind of mention that. So, and as for this thing, it's going to be put on hold for a while. Need to save up some money for C-can and a few other things. Well, there you go. I just noticed the exhaust turned down, kind of fell off it, but it's almost out of gas. There's virtually nothing in the tank. And by the way, all the smoke stopped. One thing I want to show you guys. Don't fall on my head. The pump here has to be welded back on. Look how shitty that is. I'm not sure if you guys see that when I torque the pump by lifting something, that whole bracket looks like it's ready to fall off, so I'll have to re-weld that before I take it out of town. But there you go. So it took about 10 minutes of running. And there's that exhaust bend they had right there on the ground. It took about 10 minutes of running before the smoke stopped, and now it doesn't seem to be smoking anymore, so that's good. Going to reroute the exhaust. Whew. Note to self, don't put hand here. Very hot. Boil some of the fluid in these lines. It would be good at preheating the fluid for the winter. Oh yeah, she's toasty. I just use my gun here to double check that it's running on both cylinders equally, and it is perfectly now, so that's good. So I will shut off the fuel now. I'll do it from this side because I'm wearing my Crocs. Turn off the fuel. And then I'll see if the carburetor is going to bleed down like it used to, and see how it starts up tomorrow. So, and of course I'll put some more fuel in the tank. Got the key, yipper. And I'll pick up that exhaust piece later. Don't feel like crawling under there right now. Throw this back in the drawer here. And as for what else is going on right now, not too sure. Got to go look at some security products for the house. So security stuff. So once I get that all set up, maybe I'll make a video when I get out there to show what we're looking at getting for home security. So, and yeah, guess I'll go from there.